This is our final attempt for the night. Let's check it out. Guys, if this doesn't work, I'm playing Star Wars Unlimited. If my internet can't get this together, I'm going to Star Wars. Let's just see how it works. Let's see if it's going for me. I have updated my streaming software. I have restarted my computer. I have restarted my internet. That is everything my brain knows how to do here. So let's just see how it works. All right, it looks like we are in the clear, guys. We are in the clear. Let me go share it. I'm going to share it on my phone. Thank you guys for sticking with me, by the way. That was an experience for me. That was an experience. We go and press the share button, copy link, go to the Discords, and start posting this everywhere. There we go. There we go. I can't even remember where I was. Oh, I just bought that box. That Yu Yu Hakusho box. I am telling you, it's crazy. It's crazy. We had used those cleaners for 2 years, and I am convinced that one of them took the box. I am convinced of it because I had 24 boxes laying across my room, laying across this room here. And then one was gone. So never had this situation before. I'm almost done here, guys. All right, I'm all done. I went and posted the link everywhere. Yeah, so that's where I was with all of this. Like, I wanted to make sure that I was doing right by the community. Jose versus Mitchell was the finals of Winter Clash. And I wanted to make sure that all was good. And I wanted to do right by the money. And so when I lost one of the boxes of Yu Yu Hakusho that was donated to the event, I sent Jose $175 and repaid that box. I have never found that box today. I counted the boxes when they came in. Chad sent me 12. Then there were 11. I lost one of the boxes. But I'm just saying that to say that it's a big deal to make sure that the event ran smoothly. And so today, it's making me really upset to see all of these cheating things, because if the Winter Clash was not a clean event, then that really ticks me off. So I am very invested in this because I was hoping to run another Winter Clash type event in the summer and then rerunning the Winter Clash in December. Obviously, I don't have a lot of, everything really Winter Clash came out of my pocket. I didn't want to be taking money from I was taking $1 from everybody and giving it to the judge. But I also, out of my own pocket, paid the judge. I got the judge a box of Jetburn. I paid for the playmats out of my own pocket. I was planning on doing something in the summer again, something in the winter. But anyway, when I got that comment in the Discord earlier saying I was a shill because I wanted to protect my free box, like, guys, if you think I'm making money on this, you're nuts. I'm losing money. We all are. It's card games. You don't play card games and make money, right? At least, I'm a card game newbie. Maybe you do in other games. But yeah, I'm not shilling for the company, just want to do right by the players. And so it matters a lot to me. So I had gone back and watched the shuffling and I didn't see anything. Then Winter Clash gets one. Jose wins over my brother, and then in the December webcam event, nothing. In January, Jose does not play, and then for the Wish event, Jose wins. So I did go back and look because, like I said, I am an eternal skeptic. By the way, I said this in my earlier video, but I've had nothing but kind interactions with Jose. I'm not taking any sides. I'm not saying he cheated because we have no evidence, and it would be absurd for me to say that. And I really like him as a person, and I don't want this to be true. With all that out there, okay, I went back and watched the top 4 match earlier today, and I see 4 times hands left the camera, come back with the perfect card. Now, one of the judges came and dropped a comment and said, that's because the stream crops the image. And so you can't see when, the player is getting to see more of the screen than we are as viewers, which makes total sense. So then I asked, did you go back and watch the tapes, or are you just saying from memory you can't remember the hands coming out of screen more than once? And he said it was from memory. So I don't know. Like, there was a judge watching the top 16 match where we just saw that Omar cheated. Judges don't catch everything. So if we're saying from memory, I don't know. What I'm saying is I don't know. I found 4 timestamps where it was like, draw a card, hands come off screen, showdown block. Draw a card, hands come off screen, it's the high block needed. And every time the commentators, Sam and Pippa were commentating the match, would say, oh my gosh, he drew the high block. Oh my gosh, he top deck showdown. Like Andrew was in chat, Andrew Holder, like, no way. He just top decked showdown. So you had all of this, which is of course going to lead the skeptics to look way further into this. That's all I noticed. There was no definitive proof there. There's no definitive proof. There was nothing there for UVS games to ban. For what I saw a few sus things, but most of those were just that we need to make sure webcam events are cleaner, and we need to make sure that hands can be seen. Right? There was no evidence there. It was a little suspect. I'm not going to say it wasn't suspect, because one of them was top decking showdown. Another was he had tried to draw off the settling old debts, but Omar had destroyed down to 5 foundations, right? And so it actually wasn't legal. So then Omar gets to remove one of the cards in hand, and there's a Genkai's training, which is a no block, and a struggling with studies, which is a low block. So removes the struggling with studies, and then Botan's coaching gets flipped, and so he discards the Genkai's training and draws Immortal Shapeshifter. But draws a card comes off screen, cards come back on screen, Immortal Shapeshifter. It's the high block, and then you hear Sam on the commentary say, oh my gosh, he just ripped the high block. And then Pippa says, Jose's got the webcam buff. And so that's all I could find when I went back and looked. And there was no evidence there. Sup, boss, talking about the wildfire going on. I'm trying to offer a nuanced take here, which I know nobody wants a nuanced take. People want a fiery take on either side of the subject, but I'm of the opinion that I would like everybody to take a step back, give Jose the benefit of the doubt, and give UVS Games the benefit of the doubt. Because I don't think anybody other than UVS Games and Jose knows what's going on. And so to insinuate anything else, I think is wrong. And I think everybody yelling at the company and jumping ship from Universus because of this is overreacting. It's been less than 12 hours. It's been less than 12 hours. Let's just see what happens, right? Let's give it a few days. That is my opinion. I'm trying to take the third party route, and I would very much like for there to have not been any cheating by Jose. Point blank. I do not want there to have been cheating. Never had a bad interaction with him. I just keep saying that because I don't want anybody here thinking I have some sort of personal vendetta. If anything, I have a personal hope that UVS Games is wrong about this. To this point, as far as I know, what has Jose said about the situation? From the other discords I'm in, um, Jose is saying that he didn't cheat, and he's playing Star Wars right now. He's at like a, which, listen, I don't know what happened. If he didn't cheat, this is terrible. This is terrible for him, and I couldn't imagine going through a similar situation. If I got accused of cheating, um, I I hate cheating. If you win and you cheated, you didn't win. I'm very, very competitive. I want to win fair and square. If somebody came at me and accused me of cheating, I would be mad as hell about it. Um, and so if Jose didn't cheat, then I feel for him because that's not okay. Um, but again, I don't know. Like from our interactions, I think he's got good character, but like you just never can know for sure because people are in relationships all the time where their partner cheats, and you say, I never saw that coming. Um, Coming from the Magic Judge community, I think people are overreacting, and I was the level 2 judge for Sahar Shinhar. I do not know Sahar Shinhar. I probably just butchered that name. Uh, I assume you're talking about some big cheating scandal that happened in the Magic community. But yeah, I think everybody jumping ship from UVS Games, like, nobody is willing to give the company any sort of benefit of the doubt. And I think that if you're not UVS Games or you're not Jose, like, don't borrow someone else's problem. Um, you should be in the wait and see camp. Let's wait and see here. Now, I understand friends coming to defense because if something like that happened to me, I'd hope my friends came to my defense too. So that's that. So, there was some stuff with hands off camera. I thought I might have saw something with shuffling against Patrick. There's no proof. I haven't seen any definitive proof. You're going to have weird stuff in every game. Like, I'm positive you could take any webcam event, slow down their shuffling, and say, I think there's something sus there. Um, it's hard to say from that. But then the plot thickened tonight. So everybody's mad at UVS Games and saying they're going to jump ship and that the game is dead, game is bad. This is the time for everybody to come in and riot. Our community loves to riot. Again, we throw you under the bus on the super. We throw you under the bus on the super team. I do. Yeah, I saw. Everybody's calling the Let's Talk UVS competitive team the David Toom super team. That kind of gets under my skin a little bit, but it's also kind of funny. So I roll with it. I saw Andrew Holder put his team name as the David Toom super team. Uh, so anyway, if he wins, I guess, yeah, he's definitely on the team. I will take credit. I will always take credit for a win. Where was I going? Where was I going with this? Yeah, just the community overreacting with all of this opinion on angle shooting and TCGs. Are you saying like when you're shuffling your cards at an angle? Yeah, there's something there. It was a Hall of Famer who was caught cheating marked sleeves at a Pro Tour regional. Dang. Yeah, so this is what happened tonight. So Jose is defending his character, right? Saying he didn't cheat. We have everybody coming to his defense. And then Omar, the person that faced Jose in top 4, Corey Aguilar, the eraser, I think he was the Eraserhead player for that match in the HLC that went for like 3 hours, 4 hours. Very control player. Some people have said he plays too slow. He was playing Jin against Omar in top 16. By the way, I never watched. He probably plays perfectly fast. It's just that when you play a control character, games do go long. And Life Jin, he said in his Facebook post that he made his deck for against Younger Toguro, which makes sense. Jin can cancel the card draw of Younger. Jin can block everything. Younger's not adding speed here. If Younger commits down Jin with the 2-check, Jin is playable while committed. Like, it makes sense to have Jin, and I thought that Life would be Jin's best symbol, but I just couldn't find the right kind of list. So I think it's really cool that Corey came up with this life list. I've studied it a lot since then, taken a lot of notes on it. But Corey comes out and says that he's got proof that Omar cheated against him. And you got to go watch this video, guys, because it looked legit to me. It looked legit. So what happened is Omar's got 2 copies of Battle Aura Release in his deck. 1 copy is in the Remove from Game pile, and 1 copy is built down as a face down, and then has the card in hand, puts it down, and swaps it for the face down Battle Aura Release, and plays the Battle Aura Release. I didn't go back and watch the entire turn, so I don't have all the context there. I just watched the 1-minute clip of swapping it with the face down Battle Aura Release. To me, it looked pretty clear as day. If Omar is here, feel free to defend yourself if everybody's getting it wrong, because I don't want to throw anybody under the bus if it's wrong. But from what I saw of the video, it looked pretty clear to me that there was cheating. As far as I know, I think Omar was on the Unfun Stuff team. So that does not look good. Just optics wise, you're Jose trying to battle that you're innocent, and UVS Games hasn't told anybody why they're saying you're cheating, and then your teammate gets caught cheating the same night. It's just bad optics. It's just, obviously they're not the same people. Chris Bromley, the leader of the Unfun Stuff team, immediately came out and said, that is terrible. I'm going to talk with Omar personally, but this doesn't reflect on Jose, right? Came to defend Jose, but also came to own up to someone on the team got caught cheating. Which brings us to where we are tonight, of what the heck is going on with webcam play? What is going on? This is bad. We got the webcam regional this weekend. Oh my gosh, it's lagging again. Come on. Now everybody says it's lagging. I'll just never get through this. All right, I'll give it one more try. If it starts lagging again, I'll log off for the night. People are saying now it's good. So let's just give it a try. But that's where I am. I don't know the future of webcam format in Universus. We either need to really be harsh about, you keep your hands in view, you shuffle this certain way. When your hands come back in view, they come in palm up. And your sideboard needs to be viewable on your screen. All of these are just not negotiables anymore. When this was all explained to me for my first webcam event, when I first played Weekly Wednesday webcam, I was like, okay, I'm going to follow all these rules. And then when I started watching videos, it's like nobody actually follows these rules. You see hands come under the table and then over. They're never coming back in palm up. Sideboards are completely not viewable. Hands are coming out of view. It wasn't just Jose. I remember in the first round, the top 16, when it was Omar versus Corey, I could hardly read Corey's foundations because his camera was so far away. You could still sort of read it, but man, it was really zoomed out. And then you had Omar's setup where you could see half of his laptop, and so it was really zoomed in on everything, and people were complaining about hands coming out of the screen. So it's not just Jose here. This is a big problem of hands coming out of the screen and not coming back in palm up. And cards should never leave the screen. You can put a dice on your cards and make it very obvious that they're not leaving the screen. Just hold them right above your playmat. But there just can't be any of that. So they're going to have to be super, super strict about the webcam format if they want to keep it. Because right now we've got championship points on the line for the webcam format. Sure, it's only half the championship points as major regional, but you can't have a webcam event with serious prizing and not be serious about this, which worries me because I had this Winter Clash, and then I wanted to run another type of Winter Clash this December, and then like a Summer Bash type thing. And now I'm really worried because I had one judge working the Winter Clash because I'm not just made of money. And I can't just, like, it's going to take so many judges to keep the event smooth, and you can't have you can't have thousands of dollars of prizing again without knowing that nobody's going to cheat. Yeah, I'll read some of these comments. Webcam events from every card game are really easy to cheat. I kind of just treat all webcam events for all games as casual events, even when big prizes are on the line. I think that's a big deal of why Universus took the webcam events down to no prizing and half championship points. Because in my opinion, and I'm okay to be wrong on this opinion here, in my opinion, even if Jose didn't cheat, which I hope he didn't, it's still not a good look for the webcam format when one player wins 6 in a row or like 5 in a row. It's just not a good look for the format when you have the same, you know what I mean? Please keep in mind the stream view is greatly cropped. Yeah, so I talked about that. The stream view is greatly cropped. But again, when I talked with the judge, they also said, well, from my memory, the hands only came out of view one time. It's just really weird to me that like the hand came out of view 4 times, and then every time, boom, the block was needed. You know, twice was showdown block. Actually, there was another time against Tam on Tam stream where hands came out of stream and then a showdown block came down. So that happened 3 times from what I could see of watching the games. Twice against Omar and then 1 against Tam, just from the games I watched. I haven't watched the finals yet. And I was watching on 2x speed. And again, that's not evidence. I don't have any sort of evidence here. It's just sus, right? It doesn't help that judges can be overwhelmed too if you catch somebody going on having bad interpretation. Yeah, there's no judging program right now in Universus. And so I'm sure that sometimes there's inaccurate judgments made. And then it's hard for the judges to watch and pay attention the entire time. And sometimes these are like 90-minute matches, you know? You can't just be like glued to the screen for 90 minutes. You got to drink some water, eat some food, do something. So it's not a big surprise to me that Omar got away with cheating, grabbing the Battle Aura release, because it was pretty subtle. It was pretty subtle. It was a pretty good sleight of hand. Kind of like kicked it out and then did the switch. Nobody caught it. Nobody caught it in the chat. It was only when Corey goes like eagle-eyed, watches his match and catches it. But that's a big deal. Like, Corey built his life Jin Lest specifically to beat Death Younger, loses in top 16. Okay, so Corey goes to his event, wins the Wish, wins the Dark Tournament, gets into the Wish, and now finds out his top 16 person cheated against him. But now there's no going back on the Wish. Like, I feel so bad for Corey right now. I would be so ticked to find out that I got cheated against in top 16 and there's no going back and making it right. Like, now they're saying Mitchell's the champion. But everything would have been different if Corey wins that game. Yeah, we need a judge program from UVS, and they seem complacent to the fact of it all. Yeah, we badly, badly need a judge program. We badly need a webcam format to actually be enforced with cards in view. It's foolish to have a serious competition with webcam, to be honest. Yeah, I ran that one competition that I did, Tabletop Simulator, and honestly, that might be better than webcam. Sure, Tabletop Simulator can crash sometimes, but it's pretty obvious in Tabletop when you're picking up your foundations. You can't really take things off screen, I don't know, as far as I can tell. So that is that. But it is hard to put all these stakes on webcam events, which is something I wanted to do, because with Wednesday weekly webcam going away, I wanted to start a monthly webcam tournament and I pitched this to Rochester CCG. I pitched this like, hey, I will, you know, advertise for Rochester, put your guys' logo on it and things. If the winner can get a box and the second place can get the Critical Role decks, because I want to do that, but we're talking about $150 every month. That kind of stacks up over time. So I want to do events like that. I'm not sure if Rochester will bite or not. I hope so, but they wanted to do webcam instead of TTS because obviously a card game store is going to want you to play with the real cards. They want you to go and buy the cards and support the store. But now I'm personally kind of freaked out of the webcam events. I'm hoping that nothing goes wrong this weekend with webcam. Everybody's going to be pouring over their matches now, trying to search for cheating. I mean, this is kind of chaos at this point. I'm still going to be playing. I see all these people boycotting the webcam event. I think you're crazy. Let's go and have a fun time still and just enjoy the game. We don't need to make everything. You can still enjoy your hobby, is what I'm saying. It's all online tourney where TTS not have locals. I just never actually buy cards. Yeah, exactly. It sucks because some people don't have locals and want to compete in regionals but don't have a way. Yeah, webcam is the way. It's a big deal for me. It's a big deal for me. I have one local scene. We have like 10 of us players. We try to run events every week, but sometimes they don't fire for lack of players. I mean, I can only make it to my locals like once or twice a month because it's Saturday night, and Saturday night is normally date night with the wife, you know. Webcam is a big deal. It's a big deal to me. Play from the comfort of your house. I don't want it to go away. I don't want to see it go away. But at this point, these are such big scandals that like the format needs to be reconsidered and more harshly. I don't want to see anybody get game losses. When I first started playing webcam, I was running Discord through my internet instead of on the app because I am not a tech genius and I'm very new to this whole thing. I had no idea what Discord was before this card game. And so my internet was lagging really bad and sometimes it would drop. And there were a few times I had disconnects, and this was before the rule that it was an automatic game loss. And, you know, that kind of stinks. It stinks for new players to get issued game losses for disconnects or little webcam format rules. But if we're having this kind of serious problems at the top competitions, then it needs to be strictly enforced. If you pull your hand off the screen, game loss. Period. Just game loss right there. You know, your palms don't come in face up. Maybe that's a warning, and then the second time, game loss. We have to be more strict with this. We have to be more strict with this now, especially going into this weekend. I was playing Throw Botan this weekend. Bad character. Wasn't expecting to win, but my first round opponent had perfect damage reduction to the Faith Shields and zone blocks despite having their hands messed with. Yeah, it's sus. Well, I can't speak for your locals, Darren Dragon. I can't speak with your locals. Webcam is CP points, not SP to qualify. Yeah, the webcam, you get 1 SP for playing, and then everything else is championship points. So you cannot qualify for the major regional purely by playing the webcam. You have to go to a locals. Basically, the thinking is, if you want to spend the money to travel to a major regional, you should also be willing to spend the money to travel to another local. That is the thinking. Now, in reality, that's 2 weekends of travel now and could add up to some serious money. But the thinking is, if you're willing to travel to a major regional, you'll also be willing to travel to a local. We want to support the local game stores. Heck, I just drove 2 hours to Midland to play in an event. And this was a fun experience to play with the Midland players and have this little like Lubbock Midland duel. I thought it was cool. The downside to all of this is that I'm having to like go way too hard at locals now because our locals is cool where we play like cool characters and interesting decks where everybody's not slamming meta decks. But now with the local qualifier, the championship points, I feel obligated to come in and bring like the sweaty of the sweatiest decks and try to win it all. I'd love a proper official arena Master Duel Pokemon Live sort of app. I'd support it. Yeah, I'd be all in on that. I know other games do things like I just learned Pokemon with my 6-year-old boy. He's been wanting to play every single day. He's actually picking up on the rules pretty well. And although I gotta say, I'm not a big fan of Pokemon. You're constantly like searching your decks for things. Feels a little too luck based. I don't know how to put it, but that appeals to a 6-year-old more than Universus does. It is a little more simple. Where was I going with all of this? Oh yeah, they had this thing in the pack that said like you could scan it and then get the cards in like an app of sorts. Maybe we could do something like that here with Universus. But yeah, that's basically all I have to say. I am not on Jose's side. I am not on UVS Games side. I'm on my side. Just want to play the game I enjoy. I'm trying to stay out of it, but it feels like unless you're bandwagoning with the rioters, that the rioters then turn on you and call you names and try to publicly shame you, which I don't think is okay. And I don't think it's okay to go after the company less than 12 hours into this, because what if they're right? Then everybody's going to look really foolish who was coming after UVS Games. And if Jose wasn't cheating, then UVS Games is going to look really foolish. Someone is going to look really foolish here. Or we will just never, ever know. And that's probably the likely situation. And so I'm not here to change anybody's mind. I think everybody's mind's pretty made up with the side that they're taking. I'm trying to take a more nuanced view and keep it in the middle. And that's basically just what I want to say, is that you do not have to riot against the game. Whenever there's a big riot going on, you do not have to join in and also be mad at the game. It's okay to still enjoy the game. I really enjoyed the article the other day. Oh, he's a content creator. I forgot his name. It's like My Hero Meta, I think is his name. He wrote a whole article about how everybody's getting so mad about draft at regionals. But the company also made a lot of other good decisions. And we need to also celebrate the good decisions while we get upset at the bad decision. Like it's not fair just to take it all out when things don't go the way we see. And we're not operating with perfect information here. I want to believe that nothing happened. Obviously, something happened in Omar's match. That's been caught. And it doesn't look good that it was a teammate. I want to believe that nothing happened. By the way, I told this to everybody on the Let's Talk UVS competitive team. If you cheat, you are just out. You are out so fast. I don't even want to if you get caught cheating and you're on the Let's Talk UVS competitive team, you are out. That would tick me off. But it's a lot easier to join in on negativity parades, which portion of this community, let's face it, enjoy to some extent, getting mad about every single thing that happens. I've had to leave Discords because the negativity just gets too great. And I want to stay with my hobby being my hobby. Ultimately, I don't know who's right in this situation. I know there was definitely cheating at the top 16 match. I know there was sus things going on in the games where the hand was leaving the view. That's not evidence. It's suspect. But that's not evidence. All that points to is that we really need to clean up webcam. And that is all I have to say about that. Well, it's getting late here. I was going to give you guys a Mirio deck profile that I am playing Mirio at this webcam regional here in a few days. And I was going to show you guys the deck and talk about it a little bit. So I think I'll do that. And then if anybody wants to chat, I'll read it and we'll just chat. Let's see, not sure how feasible an official app it is with IPs like Attack on Titan and MHA getting passed around like marijuana between Weiss, UVS, and Union Arena. IP holders need to be more sensitive there. Yeah, Magic makes it happen, right? There's lots of IPs in Magic, and they make it happen. We can do something. I was really disappointed getting into the game when I wanted Attack on Titan to be the next IP, and people are saying no, Weiss Schwartz already has Attack on Titan. There's no way that happens. I'm very happy that it happened. Very, very happy that it happened. By the way, I was thinking about this poem today. Let me go find it. Builder or a wrecker? For those of you who don't know, once upon a time, I was a Mormon missionary in Newport Beach, California. I was one of those people in white shirts and ties knocking on your door, trying to ruin your day. And I heard this poem while I was on my mission, and I immediately wrote it down, and I've never forgotten it. So I hope you guys don't mind. The last line is a little religious-y, but the other parts aren't religious-y. So I'm going to bring it in here and just read it, because I always like this, and I always like to think about this. This, let's see, a builder or a wrecker. As I watched them tear a building down, a gang of men in a busy town, with a ho-heave-ho and a lusty yell, they swung a beam and the sidewall fell. I asked the foreman, are these men skilled and the men you'd hired if you'd wanted to build? He gave a laugh and said, no, indeed, just common labor is all I need. I can easily wreck in a day or two what builders have taken years to do. And I thought to myself as I went my way, which of these roles have I tried to play? Am I a builder who works with care, measuring life by rule and square? Am I shaping my work to a well-made plan, patiently doing the best I can? Or am I a wrecker who walks to town, content with the labor of tearing down? Anyway, with Universus, I want to be a builder and not a wrecker. So in this instance, I don't want to be jumping to conclusions on either side. Let's just let it play out. Let's give everybody the benefit of the doubt. We do not need to riot and tear the company down and the game down. We do not need to riot against Jose and hurt his reputation. It's okay to be a third party. I don't want to be one of the people rioting every time a small thing is changed about the game that I don't like. I want to build something here, build a community, people who want to play together. I want to have this fun competitive team. I want to host these cool events where people come together and have a good time. I want to hang out with everyone, going to events and create a community. And when you're trying to create a community and build something really special, yeah, you have to ask yourself, are you a builder or are you being a wrecker? And I just don't want to join the side of the wreckers. All right, let's check this out. I do think it's fair that people are mad at UVS Games' lack of transparency. Yeah, that upsets me too. Like, they're coming after someone's reputation. My dad always told me, you never ever go after someone's reputation or livelihood. You can't do that and miss. And right now they're not providing any proof. And they're saying it's company policy not to provide proof. But Jose's such a beloved member of the community that it's not okay just to not provide proof. You know, like, I think we are kind of owed an explanation here. Like, if it's as clear as Omar, then let's see it. Like, I talked about a few suspect things I saw, but there was no evidence there. I think a lot of people are acting with emotion. I've heard nothing from the man himself. I know he's banned from Discord. However, I would be defending myself on other platforms. Yeah, he is defending himself on other platforms. I mean, yeah, he's saying he didn't cheat. So he is defending himself. He's not just accepting, as far as I can tell, he's not just accepting this. All right, let's go to Chaos Mirio and talk about this. So I know a lot of people are boycotting this weekend's webcam regional, but that will not be me. Let's bring in Chaos Mirio and talk a little bit about this list. This is the list that I'm going to be playing. I know it's probably dumb to share your list ahead of an event, but it is what I enjoy doing because I think it's more cool to share the list before and then say, see, it really did do well, than it is to not share the list and then talk about the list afterwards. Um, in reality, I think people are typically too closeted with their opinions and then thinking they have the secret sauce when everybody in this game, part of the fun of this game is how unique it feels and all the different ways you can take deck building. And so I don't think anybody is going to take this list and just verbatim copy it and run with it, but it might give some people some ideas. And I'm okay with that. I am okay with that. There was a world where this was a long running investigation. Yeah, I highly expect it was a long running investigation because this, Jose's been winning every single event. Every single event you win in a row, you're going to have more and more people thinking that you're winning. I got a funny story about this, guys. By the way, I love Texas Hold'em. In Vegas, it's my 30th birthday. If I lose early in the major regional, I am going to go and play some Texas Hold'em. So if you also enjoy Texas Hold'em and Scrub Out, come and play with me. It's going to be some fun. I plan to lose some money on my 30th birthday and have a good time. So this one time I went, there's this place called the Texas Tech Club, and they used to host this bi-weekly poker night. And I would go and play poker and I'd win a lot. It was like 10 of us. Winner would get free dinner for two at the Texas Tech Club. And that was like $200 value. So not nothing for sure. So I would go and try and win this dinner. And some of the other people would go on a Saturday and play in this free event at a bar. Okay, I have never had a sip of alcohol in my life. I've never really gone to bars. From the outside, from the world's perspective, I'm like the least fun person ever. I have never smoked. I have never drank alcohol. Okay, so bars aren't really my thing, but I love Texas Hold'em and I like to gamble. All right, everybody's got to have something. So I go and it's a free event. So I go with a few people I know, but then they paired us all into these tables. There was like 50 of us there. It's real smoky inside. It was a little bit of a harder crowd than I was used to. This was not like Texas Tech Club where it's a little like formality, right? This is very much at a bar. So a little bit tougher of a crowd than normal. And I am destroying everyone at my table. I am cleaning up. And this one guy at the table gets really mad at me. He gets really mad at me. He says like that I am, what's the word? Hustling everybody. Because I said, I don't play that much. I just play at the tech club. He said I was hustling everybody because I was winning so much at the table. And so after he got really mad at me, dealer deals out the next hand, and I look down and I got pocket jacks. And so action comes around to me. I think at this point I'm like last to act, second to last to act. So I'm in a really good position in terms of betting. In Texas Hold'em, you want to be the last person in line to bet because you're betting with the most information. And so I have pocket jacks. Obviously, I should like raise triple the big blind, maybe even more. But I just fold it. I just folded the jacks. It was like, this is not worth me getting killed here at this bar because these players are mad at me. So I understand sometimes you're just on a hot streak and there's no funny business involved, right? I don't think it's right to say Jose won 6 straight and therefore he's guilty. Sometimes people can just ride a hot streak. There's my story. I ended up winning that thing, by the way, and then I've never been back. But I won $50 at the end of that. Whenever I gamble with real money, I always lose. Whenever I gamble in like free events, I do pretty well. Okay, let's talk about Chaos Mirio. This is a list I've been testing quite a bit lately because with Younger being the elephant in the format, you have to play a character that can kill Younger early. It's really hard right now to be playing decks that need a long time to kill Younger. I've been testing out a few Hawks lists and just not really feeling it because it feels very difficult to kill Younger early, and it feels like eventually Younger gets you. Every single turn, he's throwing out all of these attacks, and eventually your defenses wear down and he gets you. So I've been wanting to play a character where I can get Younger and I can also play some decent defense to survive the turns you need, right? 32 health is a lot of health. You're probably not going to be dealing all of that in one turn. Probably going to need 2 or 3 turns to do that. So enter Mirio. I've had a lot of experience on this character. I think Mirio is one of the best characters in the game. And I think it's all because of this card, Phantom Threat. I think this is a very, very unfair attack. Nothing will ever be done about it, though, because it's very character specific. It's just Mirio, basically, that breaks this card, just fundamentally breaks this card. This is a 4 mid-5 that goes to your momentum, and it's going to get a speed every time you give it damage. So really, if you have ways to get this like 4 or 5 damage pumps, you're talking about an 8-speed, 9-speed move that goes to your momentum. By the way, they just printed Powerful 3 on this card. Mirio's strength is 100% due to Phantom Threat. I don't think Phantom Threat is an okay card. Whenever you want to win a big competitive event, you should play the cards that you don't think are okay. You should play the cards that are fundamentally broken. And then we got another broken card. We got Armor of the Wolf. This attack is +1. In your momentum, it can give damage, which means Phantom Threat can respond for speed if you have it in your momentum. And then it says after your rival passes on an enhance, this attack gets 1 damage. So if you have a lot of things in your momentum that do enhances and you're giving Lemillion to the big 3, you can use all 3 of these enhances no matter what. Even if your attack's a low attack, you can still call the enhance your high attack gets 1 damage. So this is just 3 enhances that you can drop. Eventually, your rival has to start passing. Armor of the Wolf gets really big. It has EX3 and Powerful 3, so if they reset the damage, you can dump it into the Powerful. If they reset the speed, you can dump your momentum into the speed, into the EX. Very, very versatile there. Phantom Threat fuels Armor of the Wolf because Phantom Threat goes to the momentum, and then you can use it for a nice EX3 or a Powerful 3. This is the fundamental interaction of the deck, is right here. 2 broken cards. Going to start with Phantom Threat. We're going to make it like 9 speed to where they're having to commit a lot of their defensive resources to block it. And then we're going to put that right into an Armor of the Wolf. The other cards I've got here is Cheerful Uppercut for defense, especially against like characters like Younger, where they're trying not to play on progressive. You're going to clog their card pool a little bit and force that progressive. It's also just like a 5-low 8 if you have a momentum, right? And then I got 4 copies of Claw Stopper. This attack is a 4 mid-4, but it says if you have a momentum, draw a card. So if you lead with Phantom Threat, put Phantom Threat in your momentum, Claw Stopper will draw you a card. And it also says in your momentum, you can filter a card. One of the things about Chaos Mirio is that he's not drawing nearly as many cards as Good Mirio was. Good Mirio, you were just drawing a cajillion cards. In Chaos Mirio, we get Claw Stopper to draw, and we get Walk the Dog to draw. And that's really all I'm playing in my attack lineup that draws. Now, Phantom Threat, I'm getting it to be flash about 50% of the time. Because if I Steaming Sphere's Power, put in an Armor of the Wolf, that's 1 response. If I use a basic training, that's 2. If I use Lemillion, that's 3. Then Mirio gets you 4, and then you can Powerful it, and there you go, you have 5. If you had Unrivaled Combatant, you could flip its zone and get another damage with Lemillion. If you had Momentum and you had Vast Hybrid, you could form and say all your things get a damage and then respond to that. If you had Nejire Chan out, you could give it a damage. There's all sorts of ways to give this thing tons of damage. You will get it to be flash about 50% of the time. When it's flash, you get to draw a card. So you're not getting nearly as much card draw as the good Mirio was back in the day. So Claw Stopper is very important to go to your momentum so you can filter your hand and try to find those attacks. Then I've got 2 copies of Armor of the Phoenix. In Mirio, this is a 6-low 6. 6-low 6, if it goes to your momentum, everything gets a speed. It's a 2-low block. It's not too bad. It's not doing anything over the top, so I've got a 2x. I have 1 Seafood Slugger, because if I get this in my momentum, I can turn off a rival foundation, which can be a big, big deal. It should be noted that Seafood Slugger is not a slam, so Steaming Sphere's Power cannot put Seafood Slugger in your momentum. I do have Forced Quark activation, though, to put it into my momentum. So there is a way to get that there, other than just doing damage. And then my last card here, and you can call me crazy if you want, but I'm right. is walk the dog. It's not a punch or slam. Mirio cannot change the zone here. Mirio cannot give it 2 damage. 606, stun 1, draw a card. They have to respect the Phantom Threat and commit out to block the Phantom Threat. If they don't commit out to block the Phantom Threat, say they have some sort of reset, then they're definitely going to have to commit out to block your Armor of the Wolf. At that point, you can just play Walk the Dog. Also, Walk the Dog can actually help your Mirio deck because your rival knows that you can't change the zone of Walk the Dog, then they really expect you to always call low. Well, if you don't have a Walk the Dog in hand, or you have a Walk the Dog but you don't need it, start calling high. As Mirio, it's very, very easy to tell when someone is holding all low blocks. It's very, very easy. Just watch what they're building and what they're playing and look at their discard pile and kind of get a sense for what their ratios are. You can tell what they're holding in their hand. If they have 2 cards in hand and they just played a high block attack and then they built 2 high block foundations, you should call high. So this can sometimes help like really confirm that in your rival's mind that you're always going low, and then you can surprise them by going high. Got 3 copies of it in here. I love this attack. I think people are taking the 8 difficulty nature of this way too seriously. It's always a 4 diff. Don't worry about it. Just play it. You will like it. Next up, we got 3 copies of Runaway. I actually started the deck in my testing by mainboarding Dark Tournament Looms because my idea here was we will Phantom Threat, put it into our momentum, play something else, play Dark Tournament Looms, grab the Phantom Threat back into our hand. In reality, most of the time, I have so many uses for momentum here, powerful 3, powerful 3, powerful 3, that I don't really want to pull my momentum back to my hand. And then this is just drawing a card, but it's forcing me to take the momentum back to my hand. I don't want to pick up like a face-up Armor of the Wolf if I shouldn't be playing it. Like, I don't know. It wasn't feeling great in testing, but you know what was feeling great in testing was Runaway. This card wins you the game against Younger. You lose X health before the damage step, you take the printed, and then you clog their card pool. So you play a few of these against Younger, now they're playing on progressive, and it just buys you an extra turn. This is the ultimate, I bought myself an extra turn card. And that's basically all we're playing in here. I have 0 speed hate. Absolutely 0 speed hate. Everything is just like, can I just buy another turn? Cape of No Return to remove one of their attacks. Broken Psyche, since we have all this momentum, we can take the damage down to 0. Incredible Display, because everybody's playing these incredibly powerful responsibilities. So Incredible Display, I think, is one of the top 5 meta-relevant cards coming into this webcam regional. It's going to cancel Echoes. It's going to cancel Younger's 2-check and that commits character, because I don't want Mirio to get committed. It's going to cancel Ryukyu's 2-check that commits the character. It's going to cancel Vast Strength. It's going to cancel Genkai's Guidance. It's going to cancel things like Runaway. There's so many things that this is canceling. You have to mainboard it. You have to mainboard it. I cannot have somebody using Vast Strength on my Phantom Threat. That is going to ruin my turn. So you got to have Incredible Display. Got another in the sideboard just in case. Other than that, the deck is all based around just getting momentum. So we got 2 copies of Force Quirk Activation to grab something into our momentum. It's always going to be Armor of the Wolf, Claw Stopper, or Armor of the Phoenix. And then we got 4 copies of Steaming Sphere's Power to do the same, to get momentum. Basically, we have 8 foundations that get us momentum. Phantom Threat puts itself into momentum. You get into game states where you're sitting on like 6 to 7 momentum. You're like Amajiki. Yeah, you're basically like Amajiki. You just get so many momentum so quickly. And then we have our draw foundations. We got Chivalrous Competitor and Fearsome Transformations. We're not drawing nearly as much as the good lists were. So we've got to be playing this. Chivalrous is also going to keep our stuff from getting flipped and destroyed. We really want Lemillion of the Big Three to not get interacted with. If we get this on our stage, do not let your rival mess with it. Same with Incredible Display. We need our Incredible Display to not get flipped or destroyed. So you got to play this to protect those. Unrivaled Combatant, we're going to get around those cooperation offers and the twisty surroundings, changing our zone back to like mid or something. It's also just going to get us an extra damage enhance on Lemillion of the Big Three and a speed. So if we have like Phantom Threat out, then Lemillion of the Big Three now gives Phantom Threat 2 damage enhances instead of just 1 with Unrivaled Combatant. Nezuraytron just to get more damage on Phantom Threat. Basic Training, let's get more damage on Phantom Threat. It's also going to be our Deadlock. And then Master's Pride just readies itself and you get momentum. Needed in my testing, I needed something a little more to get the consistent builds since this is kind of an aggro type list. It's an aggro type list with answers to survive for a few times. Right, we're not just like some glass cannon over here. Between the runaways, the Cape of No Return, the broken psyches, and our character phase, we typically can buy those extra turns that we need to be consistent enough to take down Youngers. But this is going to say, like, if we check a 3 on Phantom Threat, then when we put Phantom Threat into our momentum, we can ready it back up. And then Battle Arena, I love Battle Arena. This counts as 2 foundations. So, when you make a check to play attack, this check is +2. So if you check a 3 on your Phantom Threat, commit your Battle Arena, and you're all good. Sideboard, I've got some Armor of the Apes because, like, against Hawks, those type of characters that string out all these, like, tiny moves, giving each of those moves -1 or -2 damage can really stack up. Some copies of Gently Sandwich if Walk the Dog doesn't feel good. Recovery Time if they're forcing me to discard my hand, because I think Recovery Time can be mainboarded with the straight face right now between the Mop Strikes, the Botan's Coaching. Bakugo 4 will probably see some good representation. So with all these hand reps, Recovery Time makes sense. And 1 copy of Dangerous Combatant. So this is my list. Might make some changes before the webcam event. I've been doing a lot of testing with it. It's felt very nice. I think it gives me a pretty decent shot at making top cuts. All right, that's going to do it for me. Sorry to just throw that deck profile in at the end. I was just going to do it in the morning. I wanted to make sure I got it done before the regional actually happens so I can put it up as a video. And I'm in the zone here, even though it's 1 in the morning. And I just kept repeating myself about the cheating situation. So that's going to do it for me. Anybody in chat want to talk about anything before I log off and get some sleep? Then I am all ears. I'll show you guys just while I see if anybody else wanted to chat about anything. This is the other list I was thinking about running. Have I missed the Jose thoughts? Yes, you have. Sorry. I could rehash it, but I think most everybody's heard it. Basically, I'm saying I don't not believe Jose. I don't not believe UVS Games. I'm giving both people the benefit of the doubt. I'm not rushing to conclusions. Let's just see what happens. Was there some suspect things that happened in Jose's games? Yes. Was there any definitive evidence I saw of cheating? No. Is Jose legitimately a good player? Yes. Is he a good person? When I've met him, nothing but good interactions. That's all I got. That's all I got. This is the other list I was thinking of running, is Water Recovery Girl. Basically, I just love Referee Jury, and then Recovery Girl can Referee Jury, build in Struggling with Studies, pick back up the Referee Jury, and you just get so much damage reduction between Toughest Punk, Weapon Clash, and Broken Psyche. You're constantly building. You get Sword Get Longer to build 3. Eventually, you're getting there with these throws with Jaw Jammer and Falling Skies, and then you can make your Floating Drop huge. Ice Sword Execution and Battle Ore Release get huge on their own. Falling Heel Strike to unflip your Toughest Punks. Dr. Ichigaki's to where if your opponent plays the 2-check that commits Recovery Girl, you can cancel it. Class Lineup is always be one of my favorite cards. It's a real shame this is limited to just Heroes Clash characters. I always run 1 copy of it in every Heroes Clash character that I can. And then just a lot of 1-ofs depending on the situation. Depending on the situation needed. But mainly running through these 4-ofs. Toughest Punk, Broken Psyche, Weapon Clash, Struggling with Studies, Referee Jury, Live for Forever, annoy your opponent with throws, eventually you win the game. Not quite as fun as Mirio, especially for the webcam. For new players looking to do webcam this weekend that might be rattled by the ban, any thoughts on concerns, things to do about when approaching the games? Yeah, I would be very clear with your rival at the outset. Please keep your hand in view at all times. At this point, I wouldn't even let them just half cut. Like say, hey, why don't you take 10 cards off the deck? Maybe you do something like that and take it a little more. I don't think it's being a jerk on webcam to ask that the other player plays within the rules. of the webcam event, and just let your rival know that. I'm a little rattled by what happened. Everybody's real nice. I've hardly ever had a bad experience this game over webcam. Maybe I've been cheated before, though. Maybe I've been cheated. But, you know, if you do get cheated against, in my opinion, it says way more about the cheater than about you. And if somebody's going to cheat in something like a card game, that's just... I'm just not going to let it get me down too much. Good camera positioning, I think, is huge. Yeah, let me go grab my thing. Let's see here. All right. Yeah, I got this little tripod with the Logitech camera, and it's not like a crystal clear image, but you can tell what's going on. And if you set it up on the tripod, you want to get that like 45-degree angle going on. You don't want it to be so far away your opponent can't read your cards, or so zoomed in they can't see. I really get annoyed at a lot of the camera views that are top down, to where the camera is just like directly above them, because then people's hands come out all the time. And you have to be really cautious with coming in palms up and putting like your cards down and putting a dice on. But highly suggest Logitech. I wish I knew the exact kind. Then I just got this like tripod here, and it does the trick. Being able to see your full hands, arms, torso, so that hands cannot be off screen. Could be a rule that people have to use those starter play mats with the zones on a web camera. Oh, please don't let that happen. Please don't let that happen. I want to play with my playmat. I've got this like Blood Moon playmat. I've got Mirio sleeved up in my red sleeves right now. Let's see. Here he is. I have my Mirio list sleeved up. I have my Younger list sleeved up, and I have my Recovery Girl list sleeved up. I'm giving myself options. I'm not 100% locking myself into Mirio right now, but he's definitely the way I'm leaning. He's just the way I'm most comfortable, and I just want those championship points. And this is a cool strategy. You know, Armor of the Wolf is a fun card. It's a broken card, but it's a fun card. Have it be in front of you. It's the best. Yeah, and I can see Ryan's in chat. The last thing you got to have is a working internet connection, so that when you're up 1-0 in the finals of a big webcam event, you don't end up taking a loss. Okay, just had to give you a hard time. A stable internet connection. But that is everything I have for you guys. Let's see, was there any other list I wanted to show? I don't think so. I have all these like half-baked ideas. Got to test with your Mirio versus my Younger and some new tech. Yeah, the night of the Sunday night, I played this Mirio list against Jose's list. Had a team member pick up Jose's list and play it against me. I think I was playing with George, who beat me at Nationals. I think it's kind of funny that on the team we now have George and Carson, who got first and second, and I got third. And so between us, we got first, second, and third place of Nationals. Okay, so I had George pilot Jose's deck, and I played Mirio and just tested the matchup, and I went 2-2. Had some bad early builds. That's one of the changes I made since then. I was playing 4x Runaway. I took it to a 3x to add in a foundation. I wasn't playing a Seafood Slugger. I've added in Seafood Slugger. Made a few small changes since then, but I went 2-2. It felt all right. 32 damage is very, very doable by Mirio, and as long as you run away one thing, Younger is going to have a very, very difficult time. Otherwise, Younger is going to have to side in something like Koenma's Task. But now you just got Younger Tugiro to start siding in this 3 difficulty action, which can be a win in and of itself to force them to do that. And then even if they side in the 2-check, you can cancel the 2-check with Incredible Display, or just don't let yourself go to 10 foundations. This deck does not really play on that much progressive since Phantom Threat leaves the card pool. You're playing all haymakers between Phantom Threat, Armor the Wolf, and Walk the Dog. Everything is huge. At any point you can, that's one of the things I like about Walk the Dog. It's your 4 difficulty attack that you play at the end of your string. Phantom Threat, Armor the Wolf, Claw Stopper, come over the top with the Walk the Dog, dump your 6 momentum into the powerful 3, and it wins you the game that way, because both of these are 5 diffs. So you want to play your Armor the Wolf and Phantom Threat early. You always want to lead Phantom Threat, and then next up with Armor the Wolf. Typically, Walk the Dog can be your finisher in the deck. Well, that is going to do it for me, guys. 1:17 a.m. in the morning, and I am going to bed. Hope I didn't offend anybody with any of my discussions. I'm sure I did, because somebody will always be offended about something. But just trying to take the middle ground here. I hope I didn't make anybody on the team sad and misrepresented anybody. But that's going to do it for me. I'll see you guys next time, and I'll see you at the Webcam Regional, probably with Chaos Mirio.